Hi everyone, welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. And today me and Terry are talking about Everton's away match against the champions, Manchester City, on Sunday. Terry, we're banking on this one. It's a must-win game if there ever was one. The last game of the season. There's a lot of, City are a fantastic side. Let's not rule that out. But they are in the Champions League final a few days after, and they have lost a couple of games this season. They're definitely not unbeatable on a day. So how are you feeling going into it?
Fine. It's a top team away from home. We'll moonwalk it. It's the home games against crap that we can't do.
Yeah.
No, we've given ourselves the hardest job in the league to do, haven't we? Not only have we got to beat Man City at their ground with their fans back in, and everyone likes to bang the drum about City have got crap support and all that. Makes the teams and other supporters feel better about City talking them constantly. But it will give them a boost. It will make them up their game, especially when they're signing off in the league to go and play the Champions League final and lift the trophy at the end of the match. It's people are banking on City all, resting players and having the mind not focused on the game. I think that's not going to happen. The losing to Brighton has probably refocused City. So we've got the hardest job in the league. Beat City at their ground in front of fans for the first time in ages. And on top of that, I said in the last segment that we've also, even if we were to somehow do that, we've got to bank on other teams doing us favours. And yeah, I just hope the best I can hope for is that we match Arsenal and Leeds as a result. I'm not banking on getting into Europe because you're going to have Leicester beat Tottenham, and that's not guaranteed. But I don't want to be finishing 10th and finishing 8th. There's not much difference in it other than pride. But if I could, it'd soften the blow a little bit of missing out on Europe if we're not finishing 10th after the year where we were second at Christmas and haven't been out the top 8 the whole season until the very last day. But it is what it is. I don't think when we go into the summer, 8th and 10th, we'll have much difference on what we're planning to do. I think Europe or not Europe was the way to look at it. And barring a miracle, it's going to be not Europe, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd hate to finish 10th. Like, after the season that I've enjoyed at times so much, to look back at it and think it's the most average place in the league, isn't it? I'd be really upset with that. I think even if we finish 8th and we give it a really good go, I mean, obviously everyone wants to be in Europe, but I know I don't think I think it smells of wrong time, right place, if that makes sense, doesn't it? Like, I feel like if we were to finish 7th and get in the Europa League, no matter even if we make a couple of signings in the summer, there's no way, Terry, this team's good enough to compete in Europe and the league week in, week out.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of fans who miss out on Europe all say this, like, we're not ready, and it's sort of like bollocks, like, sort of make yourself feel better. But it is genuinely true. Like, as much as you'd love the away days, and you'd, even if it's the Europa Conference League, which is the third one, which, let's be honest, people are acting like that's like a joke competition. It's going to have, some decent teams. It's going to have like possibly have the likes of Roma and people like that in it, and 7th place teams from the top 5 leagues, but.
I'd be made up with that, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, I would, but as you say, if you look at our bench, we've got the team, we've got our first team, which is pretty much the 12, 13 players that Carlo's been using all season. And then after that, you're looking at, Delph and Iwobi and players like that, and you're like, I don't think we've got anywhere near the squad to, I think we need to get rid of some play. It's not going to happen all in one summer. We need to get rid of some dead wood, as we always do, and as every club seems to always think they need to, and restock the shelves with some younger players. So if we had less Delphs and less, Tosens and players like that in the squad, but we had more Nkunkus and, more Branthwaites, then you could say, well, we'll play a young team in the Conference League, and we'll keep the senior players for the Premier League. Like, the way that the very big teams do when they drop into the Europa League, like Man United do it like that, because they often drop into the Europa League. But we can't do that. I don't think we've got the squad to cope with that. I think we're, probably another set of transfer windows away from being ready for any type of European competition. he won't sniff at it if you get it, but it'll probably come too soon if we do get it. Yeah, I'm calling it now. I think Arsenal, after being down and the first time they're in Europe for years, they'll snide their way and get in the Conference League, because Tottenham and Everton are bollocksed up too many times, and it'll come, it'll be one game too short for Leeds to do it.
Oh yeah, I mean, can you imagine that with Leeds? Imagine if Leeds did get in that. That'd be unbelievable. Be a massive achievement for Leeds, that. But
yeah.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong, I would definitely bite your hand off for it. I'd love it. Just because it might be the chance for us to actually go quite far in it as well. If it was the Conference League, it might be a nice way to ease us into Europe if we were to get in the Europa League for the season after, or even the Champions League. So I think, bite your hands off for it, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not saying we're not going to beat City. It's just so many things have got to happen. But then again, weirder stuff has happened. You look back at all these weird relegation battles and promotion final days in the Championship. Like watching back a couple of weeks ago, the Championship final day, Sheffield Wednesday getting relegated. That was just a roller coaster, that. And Derby, who looked down for a long time, ended up staying up. So, there's the weird things happen in football. I think the losses indicate that we don't deserve it, but we've had some big wins as well. We've beaten a lot of that top six. We've beaten Chelsea, we've beaten Leicester, we've beaten Liverpool, we've beaten Tottenham. So I think when you look out the standout wins across this season, I don't think we're massively out of our, we're massively punching above our weight by asking for that. But you'll look at like the Fulhams and Newcastles and Sheffield Uniteds, which is, making me cringe to say that out loud. But when you look at them home results, you can understand why we're not up there. You just think if you'd taken them points, and like we said in the Wolves video, if we'd sat back and played like the away team, even against Fulhams and Sheffield Uniteds, and played the way that's gotten us, a 2-0 win at Liverpool, a 1-0 win at Tottenham, I think, we'd have been right up there, wouldn't we? And as you said, we'd have just been banking on perhaps a draw or something. But going into this game, what sort of team do you want to see? I know we spoke about James. I think we probably will see him in this game. I hope so anyway. I think if we're going to get a win, we're going to need him, because we need some sort of creativity in the team. There is absolutely none when he doesn't play. So, what sort of team do you want to see, Terry?
I think we'll see the identical team to the one that plays against Wolves, but you might get James on the bench. Hopefully, we do, and he can come off the bench and, maybe help us later in the game. But even if he's fit, I don't see him starting. I think it'll be exactly what we played against Wolves, and we'll be more comfortable away from home, setting up defensively and trying to, do another job on another big team. You were just on the wider season, as you were saying. It has been a season of big progress. If you look at some of the, we've reset a lot of the clocks on the never winning at this ground, never winning at that ground. Still, banished a few demons, but it's just going to be a kick in the teeth if we finish 10th. Not because we've been detected. It's just no one will remember that we were on at least 59 points and we got fourth with 62. It's like, there's several teams on 59 points, 58 points, 60 odd points. They're all clustered together. When you look back, especially the detractors in the media who don't like Everton, they'll point at Ancelotti in the weeks and months to come and go, well, he only got 10th last season. And they won't have the context of, well, yeah, but he was, one of 5 or 6 teams who were all within 3 points of each other. It wasn't that he was 10th and miles behind everyone. It was just the way.
Not usually how Everton finished 10th. If we were to finish there, usually
that's what I mean.
Miles behind the rest of the pack, don't we?
I don't want to finish that low, not because of the pride, because finishing 8's not great either. But I know for a fact that the bad faith, sort of ex-players, the ex-Liverpool players, the journalists in the media who want to, get got your moments, like they're going to point to the 10th when it suits them and go, well, Ancelotti's not the right man. He only got them 10th last year when it'll be like, well, he was actually only 5 points off, like, 5th or whatever it'll be end up being. But at the end of the day, who cares what they think? But we know what we need to do in the summer. Something I didn't mention in the last video was Godfrey at Wolves. We know now. Look what having someone with pace down the right hand side looks like. Godfrey was just bombing down the right when he went to right back when we changed the formation, and he's not even got any final product because he's a centre back, but he's just fast. So it looks amazing when someone can go overlap. Imagine we get a good right back and then rinse and repeat in the other positions that we need. We know what we need to do. We just need to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I think we can get something. I think we can beat them if we put our minds to it. It's a stupid question, Terry, to ask you who you're afraid of in the Man City team because there's so many players. But thinking about who they're going to play, do you have any idea, do you think, who will play for City? Because people will talk about resting, people talk about not resting. The Champions League's obviously a big one. They need to win that Champions League. Don't care what you say. If City don't win the Champions League this season, even no matter how good they've been in the league, it'll be a disappointment, I think, because that's the one they need, isn't it? And that's the one they need to really complete the set. And if they don't win it, I think even no matter how many Premier Leagues they win, they've won that before, but they've never won the Champions League. I think they need it. And I think it's probably the biggest game in their history against Chelsea. So what do you think? How do you think it'll look for City? Do you think they'll, play De Bruyne or play Foden and risk him getting injured? Or do you think they'll play Aguero, Jesus, anyone like that?
I honestly don't know. It's so. I wouldn't be surprised if they rested some players, but I know it's a cliche, but City rotate constantly anyway, and they're still as good. So you can't it's not like Liverpool, who were the other top team, who if they rested their front three, they've got Shaqiri and Origi and players like that after it, who there's a very visible drop-off. They rest De Bruyne, they're playing Mahrez. If they, rest Foden, they're playing, Aguero. I know he's older now and he's not as good as he used to be, but, I'll put it this way, I imagine Aguero will definitely feature, whether he comes off the bench or not, say goodbye to the fans, or whether he starts, I don't know, but they've just got quality everywhere. I think they'll do a little bit of rotation because they've already got the league boxed off, but I don't think it'll have any bearing on whether City care. I think they'll want to sign off with a win in front of their fans and lift the trophy and all that. So it's massively against us. It's not impossible. I think beating Liverpool was harder than beating City because we haven't got the stigma. We're sort of ordered around the game where we haven't won for ages and blah, blah, blah. City are a better team than Liverpool, but Liverpool was a harder fixture and we won that. But we need a similar level of performance. Now, if we'd have beat Sheffield United or any of the frigging teams we've lost to, and a win would guarantee us Europe, I think you'd get one of those performances. I think you'd get one of those Merseyside derby performances where every player is just, sweat and blood to get it done. But I think on some level, the players will know even if they win, they might not get into Europe, and I don't think we'll get that extra from them. I think we'll probably get an half decent performance, but then we'll concede, and then that'll be the end of it. The air will go out of us.
Yeah, same as the cup games and that against them, innit?
But I can see it playing out exactly like that. The cup game or the Man United games, where, especially in the Carabao Cup with the Man United, where they'll score from a moment of quality. We'll be chasing the game, and then we'll lose it because we're committing too many and blah blah blah. The same old story, a spirited defeat. I can see that all day. I hope not, but that's what I can see.
I mean, we'll have to see what happens. It's going to be a big one. I mean, you got to think about how it's going to go. Score prediction, Terry?
I'm going to go with 2-0 City, same as the Man United Cup game, like I said. 1-0 down for a moment of quality, and then we'll concede another one late while we're chasing the game.
I'm going to go 1-0 Everton. I think we're going to win. I know it's going to age really badly, but I think a really tough game against the champions away from home to get us into Europe. I think we're going to win.
That's from Fabi Elf.
Yeah. No, it'll be Alex Iwobi will come on and score an absolute worldie to get us over the line, or something like that. You know what? But do you know what? Do you know what I think will happen, Terry? I think we'll win. I think we'll batter City, and I think everything else won't happen, and we'll finish wherever we end up finishing outside of Europe. I think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to batter them, or we'll win 1-0, or we'll be all made up, and then it'll come through that Arsenal have beat Brighton about 5-0 or something like that, and Tottenham have beaten Leicester or something.
If we win, we're at least 8th. Like, if we win, then no one can get above us, but it's whether we win. We're playing the hardest team in the league. It's if we win, we can't go any lower, but if we don't win, it's based on whatever the others do.
Well, let's just hope we do it. Anyway, hope you've all enjoyed it, guys. If you did, make sure you leave a like and a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one.